I had a conversation with Kirk and Rasheeda. Years. This is my first time ever hearing from you,
So
actually.
she wants to bring up all the negativity as opposed to taking control and being
What if I told you? One slap changed everything. Not just a moment of anger. Not just reality TV drama. But a slap that exposed years of betrayal, secrets, lies, and a marriage hanging by a thread. This wasn't scripted. This wasn't planned. This was just for the cameras. This was real pain, finally exploding. And what happened next? Nobody was ready. Before we get into this story, let me ask you something. Have you ever trusted someone with your whole heart, only to find out they were laughing behind your back? Have you ever stayed loyal, while someone else played games with your life? If you've ever felt disrespected, if you've ever been betrayed, then this story is going to hit you deep. Because what happened on the set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta wasn't just entertainment. It was a breaking point. So sit tight, because this gets messy fast. It was supposed to be a normal filming day. Just another scene. Another scheduled shoot. The cast arrived at a private location in Buckhead, Atlanta. Cameras were being set up. Makeup artists were working. Producers were smiling like everything was under control. But the truth, the air already felt heavy. Rasheeda had been quiet all morning. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that happens when someone is holding in pain. She had just filmed another therapy segment, and it ended with silence. No tears. No words. Just a woman trying to stay strong again. Meanwhile, Jasmine was expected to arrive later. Producers teased it as a surprise moment. But nobody knew. A bomb was about to drop. The audio leak that started it all. Just 2 hours before filming, something strange happened. One of the assistant producers received a file. Not an email. Not a text. An airdrop. No name. No warning. Just one sentence. Play this before she slaps the wrong person. At first, the crew thought it was a prank. But then, they pressed play, and everything stopped. Because the voice was unmistakable. It was Jasmine. Clear. Confident. Cruel. She was laughing. Mocking. Saying things no woman should ever say about another woman's pain. Rasheeda still thinks she's his wife. Ain't that cute? People froze. Nobody spoke. You could hear a pin drop. Then Jasmine continued. I let him eat dinner over there. But he comes to sleep with me at night, period. Gasps filled the room. But it got worse. So her little makeup store, cute or whatever. But Kirk paid for all that. She ain't no boss. She built on his check. And then, the line that cracked everything wide open. We got another baby on the way, too. But I'm not saying nothing. Kirk told me keep it quiet until the show pops off. Boom. That was it. This wasn't gossip. This wasn't rumors. This was proof. Proof of disrespect. Proof of betrayal. Proof that Kirk had been hiding things, again. That audio didn't stay with production for long. Within minutes, it reached the one person who should have never heard it that day. Rasheeda. Her stylist played it for her while she sat in the makeup chair. And when she heard Jasmine's voice, something changed in her face. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She didn't throw anything. She just sat there, stone still, her hand trembling slightly, her eyes locked on the mirror. And all she whispered was, I told y'all, I'm done playing with her. On the other side of the set, Kirk was packing, sweating, phone glued to his ear, because he already knew about the audio. He knew Jasmine said those things. And the worst part, he never told Rasheeda. He tried to protect Jasmine. He tried to hide it. so the storyline wouldn't fall apart. But now, the storyline was burning to the ground. Producers tried to start filming like normal. They told Rasheeda to shoot a calm scene with Carly read first. Something light. Something safe. But Rasheeda looked at them and said, I don't want fake conversation today. Let's get to the real stuff. The cameras rolled. Rasheeda walked into the room. Carly sat there sipping a mimosa, smirking like she already knew chaos was coming. 10 minutes passed. Then, the door opened, and Jasmine walked in. Rasheeda stood up immediately. No greeting. No smile. No hello. Just one sentence. Is it true? Jasmine blinked. Is what true? Rasheeda pulled out her phone, pressed play, and Jasmine's own voice filled the room like a ghost. Mocking. Laughing. Disrespecting. Jasmine's face flushed. Her eyes widened. But then, she smiled. A smug, nasty smile. Oh, so now we leaking private conversations. Then she leaned back and said, You mad or embarrassed? That was the match. And Rasheeda was gasoline. Rasheeda didn't think. She didn't pause. Years of humiliation. Years of betrayal. Years of pretending. Exploded in 1 second. She lunged across the table. Security moved too slow. Her arms swung back. Smack. A loud slap echoed through the room like thunder. Jasmine's head snapped to the side. Screams erupted. Carly dropped her glass. A producer yelled. Cut the cameras. But it was too late. They caught everything. Jasmine staggered back, holding her cheek. You touched me, she whispered. Then Kirk burst into the room shouting. Rasheeda, stop. But Rasheeda turned toward him. Fire in her eyes. You let her disrespect me like this. And you were just going to sit on it. Kirk tried to play peacemaker. But Rasheeda wasn't having it. You lied to me. Sat in my house. Ate my food. Slept in my bed. Knowing she said all of that. Her voice broke. You were supposed to be my husband. Hugh, and trust me. This is only the beginning. Because next, Rasheeda's mother storms in. Jasmine threatens court. A second USB appears. And the biggest secret of all is still coming. The room was still shaking from the slap. Security had both women separated. Jasmine was holding her cheek. Kirk was yelling. Producers were whispering into headsets. And Rasheeda. She was shaking. Not because she was weak, but because she was tired. Tired of being strong. Tired of pretending she wasn't hurt. Tired of defending a man who kept embarrassing her. And then, the door opened. Slow. Heavy. Like a storm cloud rolling in. Rasheeda's mother walked in. Charlene. And she did not come to play. She walked in with her purse on her arm, chin high, eyes sharp. The kind of look that says, I raised mine right, don't test me. The room went quiet. Even security stepped back a little. Jasmine rolled her eyes. Oh Lord, here come Grandma with the drama. Big mistake. Charlene didn't blink. She walked straight up to Jasmine, calm, controlled, but powerful. Let me make something clear, she said slowly. You are not family, you are not permanent, and you are not about to disrespect my daughter in front of these cameras like she's nothing. The room felt smaller. Jasmine stood up, ready to clap back. But Charlene stepped closer. You say one slick word, just one, and I'll show you what old school Atlanta hands feel like. Jasmine sat down. Vast. Because sometimes, wisdom walks louder than youth. Rasheeda looked at her mother. And for a second, she wasn't a boss. She wasn't a TV star. She wasn't a brand owner. She was just a daughter. Why does he keep doing this to me? she whispered. Charlene didn't hesitate. Because you keep letting him. That hit harder than the slap. Then Charlene turned to Kirk. You embarrassed my daughter for the last time. If she don't leave you, I will. Kirk tried to speak. This doesn't concern you. Charlene cut him off immediately. Oh, yes, it does. You married my daughter. When you embarrass her, you embarrass this family. And for once, Kirk had nothing to say. Now let's be honest. The producers were panicking. But not because they were scared. Because they knew something. This wasn't just a fight anymore. This was history. This was ratings. This was the moment people would talk about for years. Cameras zoomed in closer. Microphones stayed hot. Nobody said, cut again. Because when reality turns real, you don't stop rolling. Here, where things got messy. A production assistant, someone low-level, someone nobody would suspect, secretly recorded a small piece of the slap on their phone. Just a few seconds. Blurry. Shaky. But clear enough. They sent it to a friend. That friend screen recorded it. And by midnight, the internet was on fire. Did y'all see Rasheeda slap Jasmine? Kirk just stood there like a statue. Who leaked that audio, though? Hashtags were trending everywhere. Team Rasheeda. Justice for Jasmine. Kirk ain't loyal. Audiogate. Fans were picking sides like it was a championship game. And the show hadn't even aired yet. Back at production headquarters, phones were ringing nonstop. Legal teams were sweating. PR teams were drafting statements. But Jasmine, she was furious. You let me get assaulted on set, she told producers. I'm calling my lawyer. She wanted Rasheeda cut from the season. She wanted control. She wanted revenge. But one producer calmly looked at her and said, You signed up for reality. Jasmine blinked. That slap, that was reality. She didn't like that answer. As security escorted her out for the night, she stopped and whispered to a crew member. Tell Rasheeda she better brace herself. I got voice notes. I got receipts. I got videos. And when she smiled, it wasn't friendly. It was dangerous. Meanwhile, Rasheeda locked herself inside her dressing room. No cameras. No producers. No glam team. Just silence. Her phone buzzed nonstop with notifications. But she ignored them. She sat there staring at her reflection. And for the first time in a long time, she looked tired. Not physically. Emotionally. Kirk knocked on the door. Once. Twice. 3 times. She didn't answer. Then her phone buzzed again. A DM request from a burner account. She almost ignored it. But something told her to open it. The message read, There's something else you don't know. Attached was a screenshot. A hotel reservation. 2 guests. One name, Kirk Frost. The other name blurred. The date. 2 weeks ago. The same week, he told her, he was in Miami for business. Her hands started shaking. Again. But this time, it wasn't about Jasmine. It was about something worse. Kirk knocked again. She finally opened the door. He walked in slowly, like a man who already knew he was guilty. I messed up, he said. I was just trying to keep the peace. She didn't yell. Didn't scream. Didn't cry. She just held up her phone. Who's the other girl? Kirk's face changed. Color drained. Silence filled the room. Then he said the worst possible thing a man can say in that moment. It didn't mean anything. And just like that, everything meant something. You don't even respect me enough to stop, she said quietly. We were trying to fix things. Kirk reached for her hand. She pulled away. You let Jasmine run her mouth. You hid that audio. And now this, another woman. Kirk's voice cracked. I'm just lost. Rasheeda took a deep breath. No, she said calmly. Everything is finally being seen for what it really is. And sometimes, that's worse than lies. Because once truth shows up, you can't unsee it. While this was happening, Carly Red was online. On Instagram Live. With Spice. Laughing. I told y'all something was brewing, Carly said. That slap wasn't just drama. That was years of karma lining up and going boom. Spice added. And I heard they about to air it raw. No edits. Fans were eating it up. The blogs reposted everything. Memes started forming. But behind the memes, there was a real woman hurting. And a real marriage cracking. VH1 executives met late that night. They had two options. Blur the slap, protect the cast, play it safe. Or air everything. Unfiltered. Raw. Real. They chose raw. With a disclaimer about unfiltered reality. Because drama sells. And pain trends. The next morning, Rasheeda made a call. Set up a one-on-one, she told her manager. With Jasmine. No audience, no glam, no distractions, just us. Her manager hesitated. You sure? I'm done being disrespected, Rasheeda said. I want the world to hear me without edits. Meanwhile, Jasmine posted a black screen on Instagram. White text. You're about to see the real villain, and it's not me. Minutes later, Rasheeda posted a mirror selfie. No filter. Caption. Don't mistake silence for weakness. I was loading receipts. The internet exploded again. Jasmine wasn't done. Remember when she whispered she had videos? She wasn't lying. Because sitting in her purse was a silver USB drive. And on it, something that would shake Rasheeda even deeper. Not about Jasmine. Not about the slap. But about Kirk. And someone else. Someone younger. Someone pregnant. But that confrontation, that's coming next. There were no decorations. No audience. No glam squad. No dramatic background music. Just two chairs. A small table. Two cameras. And years of resentment sitting between them. Rasheeda walked in first. All black outfit. Simple. No flashy jewelry. No heavy makeup. She wasn't there to perform. She was there to confront. Then Jasmine walked in. Slow steps. Heels clicking. Hair pulled back tight. In her hand, a small silver USB drive. She didn't hide it. She wanted it seen. Because sometimes the loudest threat is silent. They sat down. And for a moment, nobody spoke. The producer off camera said quietly, You can begin. Rasheeda leaned forward first. Her voice was calm, but firm. I don't care about you, she said. I care about the disrespect. Jasmine smirked. Your marriage has been my life for years. You just finally hearing it out loud. Rasheeda didn't flinch. What I heard was you laughing at my pain. Jasmine shrugged. You were already in pain. I didn't cause that. Kirk did. That name hung heavy in the air. Kirk. The center of the storm. Jasmine slowly placed the USB on the table. Click. The sound echoed. This, she said softly, is from 8 months ago. Rasheeda's eyes locked on it. Security footage, Jasmine continued, from a condo in Midtown. She paused. Guess who was there? Rasheeda's jaw tightened. Kirk, she answered quietly. Jasmine nodded. And someone who wasn't me. Silence. Real silence. The kind that makes your stomach drop. Rasheeda crossed her legs, trying to look composed. Say it, she said. Jasmine leaned forward. The girl's name is Maya. Pause. She's 23. Another pause. She works at a club Kirk invests in. And then, the final blow. She's 3 months pregnant. Boom. If pain had a sound, that was it. Rasheeda's heart didn't race. It dropped, like an elevator cable snapping. Stop lying, she said. But her voice wasn't strong anymore. Jasmine didn't smile this time. She looked almost tired. Plug it in, she whispered. Or ask him. Rasheeda stared at the USB. But she didn't touch it. Because sometimes, you already know. And you're just afraid to confirm it. Jasmine folded her hands. I didn't tell you before because I was scared, she admitted. But after that slap, after you made me look like just some obsessed side chick. She shook her head. Nah, I'm done protecting him. Rasheeda inhaled slowly. You think this makes you powerful? Jasmine fired back. No, it makes me honest. Rasheeda stood up slowly. Not in rage. In clarity. You think I stayed because I didn't know, she said. Kirk has been messing up since flip phones existed. She looked Jasmine dead in the eyes. The difference between me and you. I built something. You keep trying to attach yourself to it. That hit. Hard. But Jasmine didn't crumble. You shaking, Jasmine said softly. And that's because this time, it's real. And she was right. Rasheeda's hands were trembling. Finally, Rasheeda spoke words that surprised even herself. Post it. Jasmine blinked. Leak everything. She pointed at the USB. Let the world see every second. Her voice grew stronger. Because no matter what he's done, I'm still me. I'm still standing. And you. She paused. You're still chasing a man who won't choose you. Jasmine's face changed. The confidence cracked. Just a little. Because that truth stung. As Rasheeda turned to leave, Jasmine said one more thing. You hate me because I existed. Rasheeda stopped. You hate that I mattered. Rasheeda turned slowly. No, she said. I hate that I lowered myself to fight over a man who wasn't acting like one. And then she walked out. But Jasmine, she didn't move. Instead, she reached into her purse again and pulled out a second USB. This one had a yellow sticker, and written on it were 5 words. Rasheeda's Secret, 2017. It had only been 24 hours since the slap went viral. Fans were defending Rasheeda, dragging Kirk, mocking Jasmine. But Jasmine had been waiting. And that second USB was revenge. She emailed it anonymously to multiple bloggers. Subject line. Since y'all love her so much. By 8 p.m. that night, everything flipped. Headlines exploded. Exclusive audio. Rasheeda admits she cheated. Rasheeda's secret confession leaks. Did she betray Kirk too? And then the audio played. Rasheeda's voice. Clear. Emotional. I know what I did in Miami wasn't right, but after everything he put me through, I deserved to feel wanted. Silence. The internet froze. Then chaos. Twitter erupted. Wait, Rasheeda cheated too. She dragged Jasmine but did the same thing. This plot twist crazy. Sympathy began cracking. Because people love heroes. Until they fall. Back at the house, Kirk sat at the kitchen counter. Phone in hand. Sweating. Rasheeda walked in slowly. He didn't look up. You going to tell me what happened in Miami? She sat down across from him. It was one night, she said quietly. One mistake. Kirk laughed bitterly. Oh, so now we doing the, it didn't mean anything excuse. She raised her voice slightly. You don't get to act righteous. You had Jasmine. You had Maya. You had Bobby's. I had one moment. He slammed his hand on the counter. Who was he? Silence. That doesn't matter. It matters to me. He stared at her. It was Morris, wasn't it? Her trainer. She didn't answer. But her silence answered everything. There were no producers now. No lights. No microphones. Just two people. Broken. You let the world call me a monster, Kirk said. You played victim. Rasheeda's voice dropped. And I still carried myself with class. You left trails. Bobby's. Chaos. That night, something shifted. Not because of Jasmine. Not because of social media. But because truth finally stood naked in the room. The marriage wasn't just damaged. It was exposed. Both sides. Both secrets. Both betrayals. And the world was watching. But what nobody expected next was Rasheeda making the biggest decision of her life. Not out of anger. Not out of revenge. But out of self-respect. And that decision would shake the show forever. The night before the special, the internet had turned into a battlefield. Half the world was screaming, Team Rasheeda. The other half was whispering, she ain't innocent either. Memes were everywhere. Think pieces were trending. Blogs were posting timelines of every scandal from the last 10 years. And in the middle of it all, three people sitting in three different places, feeling very different emotions. Jasmine felt justified. Kirk felt exposed. And Rasheeda, she felt tired. Not weak. Not defeated. Just tired. Tired of performing strength. Tired of protecting a man who wouldn't protect her. Tired of fighting another woman over someone who kept choosing himself. That night, she sat alone. No cameras. No glam. No phones. Just silence. And in that silence, she asked herself one question. How much longer am I going to survive something I deserve to feel safe in? And that question changed everything. VH1 didn't waste time. They scheduled a special episode. No scripts. No soft edits. Just 3 chairs. 3 microphones. 1 host. And the truth. The stage was simple but powerful. Spotlights. Live audience. Energy heavy in the air, like a thunderstorm waiting to strike. On the left, Jasmine. Red dress, gold hoops, calm face, controlled. On the right, Kirk. Buttoned shirt, nervous hands, eyes tired. In the center, Rasheeda. Black blazer. Hair slicked back. No smile. Just clarity. The host. Carly read. And she came ready. Carly didn't play games. Rasheeda, she said, why did you slap Jasmine? The crowd leaned in. Rasheeda didn't blink. Because I was done being disrespected. Gasps. Jasmine smirked. Your pain paid you, Jasmine said softly. Don't act brand new. Rasheeda turned her head slowly. And your pain gave you child support checks. Don't confuse attention with importance. The crowd screamed. But Rasheeda didn't smile. She wasn't there for applause. She was there for closure. Carly turned to Jasmine. You leaked 2 secrets. Why? Jasmine crossed her legs. Because I got slapped for telling the truth, so I told all of it. The audience split. Some clapped. Some booed. Carly looked at Kirk. How does it feel knowing both women have receipts on you? Kirk sighed. I failed. It was the first honest thing he'd said in a long time. I failed as a husband, as a man. Rasheeda let out a short, sharp laugh. You failed repeatedly, she corrected. Carly held up a document. Hotel record, 2 weeks after Maya's pregnancy reveal. Kirk and Jasmine listed as guests. The room exploded. Rasheeda turned slowly toward Kirk. You said it was over. Kirk stammered. It was for our son. Jasmine cut in. Don't lie, we shared the room. The audience screamed. Security stepped closer. But Rasheeda, she stood up. And when she stood, the room went quiet. Because this time, it wasn't rage. It was decision. She looked at Jasmine first. You didn't win. Then at Kirk. You didn't lose me. Then at the audience. I stayed too long. Silence. I let the idea of being a perfect wife matter more than being a healthy woman. Her voice shook. But not from weakness. From truth. I kept forgiving because I thought that's what strong women do. She took a breath. But strong women also know when to walk away. The audience was frozen. Kirk blinked. What are you saying? She turned to him fully. I'm done. Gasps. Cameras zoomed. Jasmine looked shocked. Carly covered her mouth. Rasheeda continued. I'm done with the lies, the humiliation, the pretending. She took off her ring slowly. Placed it on the table. The sound echoed. I choose me. For the first time. Kirk looked scared. Not defensive. Not angry. Scared. Rasheeda, don't do this here, he whispered. She smiled gently. You embarrassed me publicly. I'm freeing myself publicly. Applause exploded. Some people were crying. Because they weren't just watching reality TV. They were watching a woman reclaim herself. Jasmine leaned toward her mic. I didn't expect you to leave. Rasheeda looked at her calmly. That's because you thought we were fighting over him. Pause. We were never fighting over him. We were both fighting ourselves. That hit deeper than any slap. Rasheeda stepped off the stage. No dramatic run. No tears. Just steady steps. Cameras followed her outside. Night air hit her face. Flashbulbs popped. Fans screamed. Rasheeda, you free. She didn't yell. She didn't celebrate. She just smiled. Soft. Tired. But real. Later that night, she posted one photo. Just her hand. No ring. Caption. Letting go is how you start again. No paragraph. No explanation. Just that. And the world understood. The special broke ratings records. Clips went viral for weeks. Think pieces were written about self-respect. About toxic loyalty. About women staying too long. Jasmine stopped posting for a while. Kirk released a public apology. But apologies don't undo patterns. And Rasheeda. She focused on her brand. Her children. Her peace. Because for the first time in years, she wasn't surviving. She was choosing. Now let's be real for a second. This wasn't just about cheating. It wasn't just about a slap. It wasn't just about drama. It was about a woman realizing. You can't keep setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. If someone keeps disrespecting you, if someone keeps choosing chaos, if someone keeps making you question your worth, sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away. So now I'm asking you, what would you have done? Would you have stayed? Would you have fought harder? Or would you have left sooner? Drop your answer in the comments. Team Rasheeda. Team Jasmine. Or team, none of them deserved her. And if this story hit you, if you believe in choosing peace over pieces, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because sometimes, reality teaches the realest lessons. And this was one of them.